So originally when I was making this video, I tried to go really in depth to get my reasoning across, but I ended up being about 9 minutes in and I hadn't even talked about Ichigo yet, so it was getting a little bit long. I don't think anyone wants to watch a 20-minute video on Naruto vs Ichigo, and I don't want to edit a 20-minute video on it, so I'm gonna try and really only talk about things that I think really matter when it comes to this. So if you feel like I missed something, it's probably that I just didn't think it affected the overall scaling all that much, and if you want to talk to me about it, just go ahead and comment. Now, I'm only actually doing this video because someone kind of asked me about it. Typically, I don't like out-of-verse scaling. Sometimes it can be kind of cool, but usually it just doesn't work because authors have different writing styles. In-verse scaling is a little bit different because it has to make sense for the narrative to make sense. Well, anyway, starting with Ichigo, most Bleach destruction and attack potency feats, we're going to start off with Yamamoto. Yamamoto simply activating his Bankai threatened to destroy the entire Soul Society. The Soul Society being an entire world on its own, which even has separate branches to mirror areas in the living world. Now, you could simply say that this is due to the nature of his ability and not his raw power. However, with the most recent 1000 Year Blood War anime episode, we get a scene which makes this more consistent with the idea that it's his power and not necessarily his ability. Now, this is from the fact that a Squad Zero member is not allowed to use their full power, or it can shake the three realms. Now, shaking the three realms on its own isn't like a planetary feat or anything. However, it's the fact that they said even the slightest use of their power and that she shouldn't go overboard, meaning that her using too much of her power could possibly have a very negative effect on all of the three realms. Considering the fact that Ichigo significantly scales above these people, he is at least multi-planetary. However, there's actually a little bit more to it than that. Gremmy was able to create space. It's uncertain whether it was a galaxy or an entire universe. Regardless, it's an impressive feat. However, you can't just automatically apply someone's ability to create something directly to their attack potency. Because Gremmy has a Hack's ability, it's not certain that his destruction capabilities are the same level as his creation ability that his Shrift gives him. Although, considering how spiritual energy and Reiatsu work within Bleach, there actually is a chance that it is. Hacks in Bleach have been noted to work off of spiritual energy and Reiatsu, meaning that if you stab someone with Soifan's Shikai ability, but they have higher spiritual energy, then it won't work on them, because it bases and scales off of your spiritual energy. And Gremmy wasn't able to do this feat without creating clones of himself, meaning that he needed more spiritual energy to pull it off. So theoretically speaking, if Gremmy can create anything that is as powerful as his spiritual energy, each clone should be a one-to-one version of him. So if Gremmy needed 5 or so clones to create a galaxy or a universe, depending on your interpretation, Gremmy could be 1/5 that strength level, so 1/5 of Galaxy, 1/5 the way to Universal. Potentially, theoretically. Now, the only other important destruction feat we have to talk about is with Yuha destroying the 3 worlds and creating a new one. This is kind of a shaky feat, because we don't know if absorbing the Soul King gave him the raw power to do it, or the just ability, the Hack's ability to do it. So while it is impressive, I wouldn't personally use this feat on its own and use it more as a complement to the other ones. As for speed, I already have an entire video on that. So to keep it short, Ichigo has been beyond light speed since the Soul Society arc, and has gotten many times faster since then. Ichigo is easily massively faster than light speed. Considering how much stronger Ichigo is than characters like Yamamoto and Squad Zero, he has an easy floor of multi-planetary, and a ceiling, depending on your interpretation of the world and its usage within Bleach and Gremmy, as high as Galaxy or Universal. Personally, I'm in the multi-planetary camp. However, I would not shun you for thinking he is higher than that. Naruto scaling is actually rather consistent. Naruto has a solid destruction feat with the moon, where Toneri was able to cut it in half and Naruto was able to casually counter that slice. The only issue is that the moon was only cut in half, not destroyed, and it was hollow. However, the foundation of Naruto scaling comes from a statement in, I believe, Shikamaru Shinden? Where Shikamaru says that Naruto and Sasuke have the power to destroy the continent. Now again, depending on interpretation, this could mean that they have the power to destroy all enemy shinobi on the continent by themselves, which would be accurate, but the destroy and continent being in the same statement makes me feel like it is meant to be taken literally. Now, another thing that's really important we have to talk about is Kaguya and her ability to create her dimensions, because it's a similar situation to Gremi from earlier. Because the ability to create dimensions in Naruto is pretty exclusive and not everyone can do it, you can't automatically assume that it translates directly to AP. Luckily, in Naruto, Kaguya was actually going to destroy the world that she created in order to kill Naruto and Sasuke. It's not entirely clear whether she meant she was going to destroy her whole solar system or planet that she created that they were on. But what's important is the fact that she actually couldn't do it on her own. In order to accomplish this, she was going to expand the Truth Seeker Orb using the chakra from the tailed beast and the people on the planet. Again, while it's kind of uncertain whether she was going to destroy the whole world or just the planet they were on, narratively it doesn't make much sense for her to destroy the whole world she created, because if she were to just simply destroy the planet they were on, they would have all died anyway. Regardless though, she wasn't able to do either of these without a Hack's ability and an outside power source, which means that Kaguya tier power, while still being above Naruto and Sasuke at that point in time, still was not planetary. Now from there, we take a time skip all the way into Boruto. Out the gate, it's kind of difficult to tell how much stronger Naruto and Sasuke have gotten after this time skip, if at all. Naruto and Sasuke did extremely well against Momoshiki compared to how they did against Kaguya. And Momoshiki did claim to be stronger than Kaguya when he arrived, however, he did not know about her fruit shenanigans and whatnot, stuff that went on after she landed on the planet. Ishiki, on the other hand, is a totally different beast, because just like when they fought against Kaguya, there was a clear difference in power between him and Naruto and Sasuke. The problem here again is that it's hard to tell how much stronger Ishiki is than Kaguya, if at all. Personally, I'm in the camp that believes Ishiki is stronger than Kaguya. However, it's not that simple. Kaguya and Ishiki landed on the planet together. Although we didn't see it happen, we know for a fact that she caught him off guard in order to kill Ishiki. So it's kind of implied that he was stronger than her. But we also have to keep in mind that this was Kaguya before eating the fruit, which is a rather ridiculous amp. This was likely done by the author on purpose to not belittle either of the villains. And it makes it hard to outright say one of them is stronger than the other. Because Ishiki was dog-walking Naruto and Sasuke easily, right? But if you go back and watch the fight with Kaguya, Naruto and Sasuke would have died on multiple occasions if it wasn't for outside factors like Kakashi and Obito. Like seriously, they would have died so early on in that fight if it wasn't for them. And they never even beat her, they had to seal her. So regardless of which of them is actually stronger, they're within the same realm of power, meaning that if Kaguya wasn't planetary without hacks, Ishiki probably isn't either. However, when Naruto went in Baryon mode, he started dog-walking Ishiki, which means that he is likely also stronger than Kaguya. The only issue here is that there's no real reason to believe that Baryon mode amped him that much to the point where he jumps from continental to planetary. I'm not saying it's impossible for Baryon mode to be planetary, but you're gonna have a hard time proving it without blatantly wanking him off. There's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to speed in Naruto, because most of the defeats come from the end of the series. The only thing that we have to get out the way is a statement that says that the Raikage is light speed. Now, I don't speak Japanese. However, this has been debunked online quite a bit. From what it seems like, it's very similar to Ichigo's data book saying that he was the speed of lightning, except for in this case, it was just poorly translated. From what it seems, it says that he is fast like light. However, when it got translated over to English, it said that he was the speed of light. So basically just a translation error. Although, I will say, there is a really good breakdown of it somewhere online that I read a long time ago. And if you're interested, it wouldn't be a bad idea to look for it. Moving on though to the well-known feat from the War Arc where Naruto dodges a Sage Art Light Fang. Which, due to it being a Sage Art, means that Naruto just dodges natural light here. Some things to note though. Naruto really just aim dodged it. He didn't full body dodge it or outrun light or anything. Although usually in anime and manga, dodging something is used to show your speed. I can't really think of any situation where Naruto would have to try to outrun a beam of light. The only time I've ever seen that in fiction is when it was like that Phineas and Ferb episode when they tried to use the boots to outrun the light. Phineas and Ferb, 6-path Sage Mode level confirmed? Getting back on topic though, another thing to note is that Naruto was pretty close to Madara when he shot that light fang at him, so bonus points to the reaction speed there. Anyway, this means that by this point in time, Naruto in Sage Mode bare minimum has light speed reaction time. But there's actually one more jump in speed that Naruto has. and that's the fact that Naruto was easily able to catch the rods that Ishiki was shooting at him while he was in Baryon mode. And what's really important here is that Sasuke wasn't even able to see those rods with his magic eyeballs. Whether you think Sage mode or Rinnegan and Sharingan give a user better reaction time is definitely up for debate. However, what's not up for debate is the fact that Sasuke definitely has top tier reaction time within the verse. Unless the plot calls for otherwise, but we don't talk about that. Considering the fact that Naruto and Sasuke are relatively the same strength level, these rods will have to be moving way beyond just light speed for Sasuke not to be able to see them at all. Which means that Baryon mode Naruto has way better reaction time than he did when he was in just 6 paths. And while that doesn't directly correlate to attack speed and movement speed, Baryon mode clearly enhances those as well. The only real question is by how much. And to be completely honest, there's really no way of us knowing how much faster he got from it. You can say 5 times, 10 times, 50 times, you could wank it up to 100 times. We really have no evidence for any of that. So where does that leave us? Well, Naruto is consistently continental, and top tiers in that series can't hit planetary unless they're using outside power sources and hacks, with the only exception potentially being Baryon mode Naruto. However, we don't know how much stronger he actually is. Naruto in Baryon mode is without a doubt beyond light speed, the only issue being we don't really know how much beyond light speed. If I were to take a guess, I would say anywhere from 10 to 100 times the speed of light. However, at the end of the day, that is just a guess. However, if you wanted to highball and wank Naruto, you could say he's solar system based off of Kaguya's dimension creation, and that he is massively faster than the speed of light due to the Raikage's guidebook statement calling him the speed of light. Although I wouldn't personally use either of those because neither of them are consistent and actually can be straight up debunked, but there you have it if you want it. While Ichigo is consistently planetary to multiplanetary, and depending on your interpretation of the worlds within Bleach and Grammy's ability, you could call him galaxy to even universal, although I personally would not go that far. There actually is some evidence within Bleach that might suggest that. In terms of speed, he is easily massively faster than light and does indeed outspeed Naruto by quite a bit. To the point where even if you were to use the Raikage's guidebook statement for scaling Naruto's speed, it still wouldn't come close to Ichigo. Which at the end of the day is the main reason that I believe Ichigo would win the fight. You can get Naruto to that planetary level if you really want to, and you can really downplay Ichigo to that level as well and have them at a similar strength level. And Naruto actually has a way better kit. Things like his shadow clones and his sage mode and the different elements he has and the ability to even summon things and potentially use genjutsu with his sage summonings, Naruto's moveset completely outdoes Ichigo's moveset. But no technique, move, or amount of Hashirama cells is gonna make up for that speed difference. Ichigo would probably treat Naruto like he did Candace in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, and Naruto's only out is likely catching Ichigo in something like one of the Toad Sage's genjutsus. Because in Naruto, hacks like genjutsu don't scale off of the amount of chakra. However, if you were to equalize the verses, Ichigo would likely just the genjutsu away, because in Bleach you can negate hacks by having a higher spiritual pressure. Anyway, that's my interpretation of Naruto versus Ichigo. If you feel like I missed anything important, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not sure how many out-of-verse verses I'll do. I like to stick to inverse scaling because it actually matters narratively and could hypothetically even happen. Plus, out-of-verse scaling is like the most toxic thing in the community, besides maybe Rukia shippers.